Okay, I just want to do a short little video on how to properly spool a spinning reel. An open face spinning reel can be a little complex. Worst thing that can happen is you can get some line twist, and if you get line twist after you've spooled on a fresh spool line, it makes it practically useless. So you got to do it right in the first place. So typically you would tie it onto your spool, and that's what I'm going to do here right now. Do a little knot onto the spool. You want to have it secure, so if you were to run it out to the very end, your line doesn't come off the reel. I mean, that can happen. And after you spooled with your reel with expensive fluorocarbon line or an expensive braid, you don't want to have it come off in the event that you get down to the bottom of the spool. Now that I got it secured onto the reel, I'll snip it tag end off. I don't want that hanging out too far. So I got it on, and when I put it on, just a point of interest here, I had the bail open, so now I'm going to close the bail, and I could start winding it on, and we could wind it on onto the reel. Make sure I got it right here. Yep, wind it on. But the problem with winding it on is as you come off of your spool, unless you have your spool pointed in the right direction, it could be winding it on from this side or this side showing toward the reel. That can introduce twist, and often it's difficult to decide which way is the proper way to set that spool as you wind it onto the reel. And again, we're trying to avoid twist at all costs. Well, here's what I do. I have a Berkeley spooling station, so I can put my spool on the end here and my line here and wind it directly on the spool as it comes off. Here, I'll set it up in a second and I'll show it to you, and we'll get this okay. Now I have my line coming off here, got it set running down to my spool, and got to make sure you're going in the proper direction on your spool, otherwise once you wind it all on, it won't be, if it's not in the right direction, you can't operate the reel properly, and your line will come off when you're trying to reel it up. So here we go. We're gonna spool this spool up, and as you're doing it, you want to work your line back and forth across the spool so it spools evenly. Now I'm going to turn off this video here as I wind this on so I can pay attention to what I'm doing. But it's pretty simple. It takes a few minutes, and then we'll have a perfectly spooled reel, and there'll be no line twist in it. Okay, as you can see, I got it almost spooled up entirely. Just got a few more feet aligned to go, and we'll have this finished up. We'll get the last little bit off and put it on the reel. Now I'm going to secure my line and the line keeper on the reel before I take it off the winding station. Don't want it to start unraveling. And that's about it. We got it all spooled up. I'm going to put it on my custom-made rod that I made from mud hole. Got into custom making rods this winter and come up with some pretty nice designs. This is a beautiful rod, nice and light. It's an EPS 81 ML XF. It's 6 foot 9 inches. It's a jigging rod I made especially for jigging for walleye. So I'm excited. I got this. We got the line on it now, and boy, it's perfect time of the year for jigging for walleye in Lake Erie. Eastern end of Lake Erie. Outstanding fishery. So I'll be using this. I'm going to spool up one more spool that came with this. I'm going to put some braid on, some light braid. But this was 8-pound test vicious fluorocarbon. Fantastic line. It's my favorite fluorocarbon. So here we go. This is it. This is ready to fish. And we'll stop here.